Welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, we are Nick and Sarah, and with our two little dogs, we live and travel full time in our van when the world permits it. Over the last few years, we've visited over 25 countries, and for the last 4 months of winter, we've been exploring the UK. Yes, we are mad. In last week's vlog, we finally crossed the border into Spain on our journey south to Andalucia, but couldn't resist a little stop off in the mountains. Join us in this week's vlog as we continue our journey south. We pick you up where we last left you, searching for somewhere to spend the night.
So we fancied a bit of a wild spot, and we've come to this lovely little location next to this pretty little river. The sun's just about to dip behind the mountain. And it really is beautiful. Like, you don't get much more wild than this. But we've just checked the weather forecast and there's a lot of rain coming in the early hours of the morning. And we don't want to get stuck. And already here, coming in, we did do a bit of a wheel spin. And you can see how it kind of churns up a little bit. So unfortunately it's beautiful, but we are going to move on and go somewhere on solid ground, I think, which is a shame. But plenty more spots like this to come, isn't there?
Such a shame.
Sorry to bring you all the way down here, only to make you drive all the way back out.
Oh, there's a lovely little spot as well.
Yeah. Onward to Huesca, is it?
Huesca.
Huesca, yeah. We'll go and find somewhere in the city to park, maybe.
Maybe, we'll see.
We'll see. Good morning everyone, and we've woken up in Huesca, in the little city of Huesca, and we're on kind of like one of these motorhome stops. So yeah, Nick's just out of a little dog walk, so waiting for him to get back. Very glad we did move on from that wild camping spot because it did rain really heavy in the night. It woke us up. The car park was looking a little bit flooded. A bit better now, the sun has come out, so that's quite positive. Yeah, so we have been to Huesca before, and it is a really cool little city to explore, so if you're in the area, we would highly recommend. We're not going to visit today as we have been here before, and we kind of want to carry on, get some kilometers done and get south.
What a great little park up. Pretty good access to the city. There's a big football stadium behind. At night it's all lit up. And then you've got this lovely little park leading up to this little church, and hopefully some lovely views.
Really good view, definitely worth doing the little climb. Oh, I'm out of breath from the little auto caravan stop to up here, because you can see the snow-capped mountains. Don't ask me what range it is. And you can also just see over to the centre of Huesca.
So guys, since we last saw you, we've done some serious driving.
Serious, like
serious.
We were way up in the northern hemisphere, I was going to say then.
Way up in the north of Spain, just not far from the border in Huesca, and now we're in the deep south.
Deep south. We've actually crossed into Andalucia already. Yeah, we've just been driving, catching up with work and driving again because the weather's been horrendous.
Unbelievable. Since go to Spain, she said it'll be sunny. It's literally rained pretty much the whole time.
And the forecast is for the next week at least more rain, isn't it? Today is the best day. We've got a little bit of sunshine today. It was all right yesterday, but
we had one
really
other day which was okay.
The van has been really great on the drive. We've had no issues whatsoever. He's running like a dream. In fact, he's gone up. Our cruising speed before was about 80 kilometers an hour. we keep going over 100 and we're like, whoa. And
he's just creeping up. I'm like, oh, 100, nothing's shaking, you know, there's no...
Yeah, no vibrations. Touch wood, but he's been running absolutely fine. We've only had 2 little issues. One was that exhaust that we had to use our bracelets to fix it back in place.
A little rubbery, I don't know what it is, bracket, not a bracket, but a little rubber thing that holds the exhaust on. That's totally cracked. But luckily we had some little clippy bracelets that were the perfect size. So I've just done a little cowboy job on our exhaust because it's looking a bit dodgy, just noticed it. And we don't want that coming off on the motorway. Started raining again, so I think that's our cue to leave.
Scrap that, it would be time to leave, but it's raining and that's fine. But our windscreen wiper is now broken. The little rubber bit is like hanging halfway off. It's a bit annoying, isn't it, this glorious weather we're having in Spain. So Nick is just switching you can see that one flapping away where the rubber's broken. So he's just switching them over. So we've got the best one on this side. Second cowboy job of the hour. Nick's gonna put a little bit of tape around that flapping bit. Just a tiny bit because it's really flapping and it's probably gonna come right off if we don't do that. And just one quick clean. It's actually stopped raining now. And then we'll hit the road and continue south. But that's it, the van has been blinking great and we're so happy. We're so proud of our little old Vinster, aren't we?
Yeah, he's a little trooper.
Anyways, so yeah, since leaving Huesca, we've basically just been staying on spots like where we are now, like motorhome spots, like solid ground. There's been no wild camping. There hasn't been seeing much.
We haven't filmed a lot because of the weather. We stopped in a place called Puerto Lapis, which is kind of in the centre, to get some work done. We stayed there for a few days. We actually got electric. It's free electric in Spain, but it was a very, very busy motorhome stop. It's like one in, one out, like the whole time.
Not our usual place to stay at all. But nice little town. We went out for a couple of tapas, a lovely little place.
Nice buildings there, some nice little restaurants. Yeah,
so we were there for 2 days, were we? And then
we did do a kind of a wild spot. Driving through a national park. I'll put the name up here because I can't remember it. Never heard of it before. But it was really, really beautiful. Really, really nice. Natural
park. Both. Lovely drive, and that was the day that was all right weather again. So we did do a nice little spot on our own, and you know, it had a little stream running through, picnic benches. It was just off the main road, but yeah, really, really peaceful spot. So that's basically been our journey down here. Yeah, that was our only wild spot. The rest has been like places where we are now. And now we're in, we've told you, in Osuna.
We didn't.
Hold on, boys. Quiet, please.
Yeah, now we're about 2-3 hours drive from our little village in a place called Osuna. And yeah, quite excited to actually get outside the van and go off exploring somewhere. Yeah,
we are going to have a little walk around the town today before the rain starts again tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's not been too bad having bad weather from my point of view, because we are on our way home. We've been in the van now for 6 months. You know, it's a very small space to be in for 6 months. We do want to give the van a deep clean. We have got the vehicle inspection coming up as well, so I want to empty the van, do some little niggly jobs on it.
Yeah, we're both very excited to get back, unpack the van, clean it, and then repack it
for more like a summer climate type thing, because we're just full on big winter clothes and the 13 tog duvet, and we want to give it a sort out and everything else. Obviously, we're looking forward to seeing our little house that's down here, because we haven't been there for 6 months. We've got some things to do there. So the weather has been, it's all right. It's all right, not great weather, because otherwise you're driving through countries, driving through France and Spain, and the weather's beautiful, then it makes it harder to not stop and want to see everything.
I'm not one to just drive through a country and not see places. I have to go off exploring.
So that's why the weather's good, but it's crappy.
Found a great park up, actually. Cities are notoriously for, you know, being hard to park up in, but in Huesca there was a lovely little park up on the edge. And here, outside this really fantastic supermarket.
A great supermarket.
Family cash supermarket. I've never been in one before. We've got loads of different things in there, but it's got a huge car park, water fill up, grey, emptying and all that.
Yeah, there's a fair few motorhomes here. It's safe. It's right next to the hospital in case anything happens. And yeah, the supermarket's open till 10 o'clock, good toilets and things in there.
Perfect.
So pretty good.
Anyway, I think we should go out and have a little look around. found there, darling?
18th century building. It belonged to the Los Sabida family. I think it was just like a rich family that lived here many years ago. Now it's the courts.
Loving these marble columns though. Seems to be one of the main squares in this lovely little town.
And this seems to be one of the worst buskers we've ever heard. Not being mean, that's not mean.
Not being nasty, just honest.
Honestly, personally, I just really don't like what the guy's doing, but I'm sure a lot of people do.
But music I'm not sure about, but his sax playing isn't quite going with the music.
Well, that's what I mean, yeah.
It just doesn't work, does it? It's just ruined the ambience of this lovely little town. Darling, as it's this weekend, it'd be rude not to. So one of the things Osuna is famous for is this amazing bull ring. Unfortunately we can't go in it because it's closed, it's a weekend, and
we don't agree with bull rings either,
yeah.
So we're not overly bothered we can't go in, but it's famous because
it was the fighting pits on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Now if you followed Game of Thrones, I watched it, loved it, and it was in Marine, the amazing fighting pit. They added a few levels onto it with CGI, but this was where it was filmed.
Yeah.
Bit disappointed we can't go in, and a bit disappointed you can't properly see it from the outside because it's kind of hidden behind all these townhouses.
And it's one of the biggest ones in the whole of Spain as well, isn't it?
Yes.
So there you go. Anyway, onwards.
Hello.
See him.
Hello. Hello. Come here. So Sarah's brought us on an absolutely wild goose chase. That's what I think, a very hot wild goose chase.
Yeah, you can tell we're back in Andalucia. It's quite warm when you're walking.
And who's carrying their ski jacket with them?
It was cold when we left the van.
Well, you're not used to these warm temperatures, just 6 months up north.
So what is this, my darling? We've walked about sort of 10-15 minutes out of town to get a view, and
now we're too far away from the town to get a view. But I think it's an old quarry, and it's called, name up on the screen.
Yeah, and the main building, or the main area there, it's closed and there's like a wedding reception on. Very fancy event by the looks of it. We did want a gate crash, but you know, we're
not
probably
dressed
not
up for it really. But yeah, very interesting landscape.
Very interesting, isn't it?
We haven't done our research. I presume this quarry was to harvest the rock to make all the incredible old buildings in the town.
Oh, really? That's a guess.
That's a guess.
I don't know if he's right, but oh, I'm exhausted now.
Yeah, crazy landscape. Shame our drone is broken.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't noticed much drone footage. It's because the Mavic Pro has got an issue with its gimbal, so it flies but doesn't film.
Another good reason why we are now on our way back to the house, because we can send the drone back and get it fixed, or order another one.
Not send it back from here, as in drive it back with us in the van.
You know what I mean.
Here she is.
See, it's not a bad view, is it? We've walked as far as we're going to walk, and it's not bad. Like, you can see for blinking miles, and it's such a flat plain, isn't it, looking out there? Mountains one side, flat plain the other. So sorry about the audio because it is quite windy up here. Don't know if that's affecting the sound, but not a bad view from up here. You get to see the city properly, and this is the best view actually of the bull ring, because you can't see the bull ring at all from down there without going in.
Yeah, you can see it's quite an extensive town, isn't it? I think it's a large town rather than a city.
Yeah, population I think is about 18,000.
That's it, yeah.
18,000.
But it's quite big,
so,
and it's got so many old buildings. Definitely worth coming up here to this old quarry and to get a proper view of the landscape, how it's kind of perched on this hillside and then it's just dead flat in the surrounding areas. Dizzee seen the gecko.
Dizzy's first gecko in 6 months. See how excited he was.
So this is our final stop in Osuna. We've come up to this 16th century church with beautiful views over the town.
Yeah, it's been a lovely afternoon, quite relaxing wandering around this little town, but now back to the van.
So guys, I'd like to show you, give you a little tour of our studio. Well,
Our like proper full-on studio.
well, all it involves is a laptop on a table with a Jackery power station. That's it. That's all we need. That's our like creative office.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen us in the van before. Nick quite often sits in the front when you're editing, but when we're doing like hardcore, like lots of hours, we get this table out, which is a table which can be turned round into positions.
Because it's so much more comfortable being sat upright, and you've got rather than hunched over and dizzy trying to jump on your lap and sit on the laptop.
Yeah. We're going to be editing for the rest of the day today. We've got a lot to catch up on. We want to get this video underway and a lot of that done. And thanks to our friends over at Jackery,
we can edit all day. And tomorrow and the next day.
We could big these guys up all day. We've mentioned Jackery before. You know how much we love the products. They are really fantastic. And we were just saying actually that before, what did we do before? What did we do before Jackery?
Turn on the engine and leave it running.
Yeah.
For hours.
If you've been following us for a while, it was when we went into the Arctic Circle actually, that huge trip up to the Arctic Circle, all the way up to northern Norway. Then that was like a time before power stations, a time before Jackery, and I can't believe that we used to make these videos without it. It was a struggle.
We just pulled over here basically so we can leave the engine running because we're just not getting any power from the sun. The battery's getting a little bit depleted, so we can't use it too much. So we resorted to our only other means is leave the engine running so we can charge our laptops. So we need to park somewhere away from people. So that's what we've done. It was the struggle.
Like Nick says, you have to leave the engine running and things like that. We don't ever have to do that anymore.
And see, our quality's improved, we feel, because the Jackery power stations allow us to edit for longer, and yeah, the laptops use a lot of power. Yeah. So if we didn't have a channel and we didn't use this video editing software, you could survive for a month on one of these bad boys. Because the phone uses, for instance, like 5 watts maximum.
Yeah.
And your laptop may use 20-25 if you're not doing editing, but it can use up to like 150
So say
watts.
if you were going on a holiday for a week and you had one of those, that would be all the power you would need, you know, because obviously you've got the solar panels. We've got the 100-watt solar panels, and they're pretty good as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I can't shout out the solar panels enough. Like, we've tried out a few solar panels. It's 100-watt, and we're in full sun, not necessarily in the Spanish summer. Yeah. We've got over 100
We've
watts.
Actually brought in over just over 100 watts. They're really, really good. I mean, it's just such a great combination, and the fact that you can charge these up when you're driving as well with a cigarette lighter thing. Just brilliant. It's just made our life just complete.
Basically, if we did a van, look, you've got 2 sockets there, 2 USB 3, 12 volt, and a nice little light.
Yeah.
And this Jackery, the Explorer 1000, has the ability to plug 2 solar panels in.
We would big these guys up all day because they just make doing what we do possible, basically.
Anyway guys, it's Jackery's 1 year anniversary from entering the European market, and because of this they've given us a discount code to give to you. I'll let Sarah tell you all about it while I get on with this editing.
Yeah, so if you are interested in getting one of these fantastic products, the Explorer...
Excuse me.
Yes, so we've got a 10% discount to give you guys off these products. So that's the Jackery 1000 Explorer over there, the one that's half the size, which is the Jackery 500 Explorer, and the solar panel, the 100-watt Solar Saga solar panel. There's 10% off these products until the end of the month, which is quite a good saving. So if you're interested, the details will be in the description box. You can use our special code and get that 10% off. Anyways, editing for us for the rest of the day. Probably not going to leave the van again.
And I think someone needs to get on with some cooking because I'm blooming starving.
So cheeky.
Yeah, guys, I think we're going to have some food, just edit, stay in the van, shelter from this wind for the rest of the day, and we'll probably...
catch you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. I've just come out for a little toilet walk in the middle of the night because I was woken up because it is really, really windy. It's coming from across the plains and it's hitting the van, shaking the van, and really noisy. As you know, Vinny's quite drafty, so debating whether to move. So I'm not sure they can get back to sleep.
Coffee number 4 or something like that. We're knackered. We had such a bad night's sleep, didn't we, love?
Very windy, very broken sleep.
Sorry, before you carry on, can I just point out this? Look, what we're wearing.
Oh, matching.
Matching! Whatever, get yourself some Explorers merch. Even though it's coming into summer and wearing hoodies, we do t-shirts too.
All sorts. Yeah, maybe a bit funny today because we haven't had a good sleep. We actually got an early night, thought we'll get, you know, some rest. We don't normally go to bed till quite late because we're working and stuff. Yeah,
so we actually went to bed before midnight, which is early for us, and then I think it was 2 o'clock or just before 2 AM we both woke up. The wind was horrendous. I think Nick explained a little bit in the night, and the van was rocking. It was scary actually, wasn't it?
The dogs were getting scared. It's the thing we're most worried about. One, we can't sleep because of the noise, and two, because they get a bit funny when it's really loud wind.
Yeah, so we're a little bit concerned about Charlie, obviously, and it was just too noisy to sleep, wasn't it? So we moved.
Then we went back to sleep at about 3 o'clock, and then we woke up again about 3 hours later, well, just before sunrise at 5:30, because Charlie was being a bit funny, so we had to take him out. So.
Yeah, he actually vomited, but he's all right now. It's obviously been several hours and he's all right again. I think he got a little bit scared, but anyway, we just stayed up after that. Yeah. So we've been up since like 6:30, so we're a bit funny today.
Yeah, so we were supposed to be leaving first thing, but the way we're going we think is over like a sort of a mountain pass.
Yeah.
Along the edge of a sort of cliff,
hate driving in the wind because the van just goes like that and swerves you out, and you know, we're not in that much of a rush to have to leave when it's, you know, 70km/h gusts or whatever it is. So we're just kind of waiting around and hopefully waiting for the wind to die down a bit before we move on.
Yeah. I'm so glad we didn't park under that tree over there. Big branch of that tree has literally been ripped off. Crazy winds though, crazy. I think, yeah, it's peaking at like lunchtime today. So yeah, it's funny that all the motorhomes have moved from that area. We all park there because it's a nice view, but during the night, in between like midnight and 6 o'clock in the morning, slowly everyone's moved over there. I think we're going to hang around till lunchtime and then we're going to move on.
So we have basically waited long enough. We're not waiting any longer. The wind probably has died down a little bit, but we want to leave this car park and drive like the wind. Get it?
Yeah, we all get it.
I don't think I can get my legs open any... Oh, thanks Charlie. There we go. That's a bit better, yeah. You ready, Diz? Yes. And
we are off.
so this is definitely not a very nice drive at all. Poor Nick.
I'm holding on to the steering wheel very tightly because the van is rocking around.
So yeah, it's all right for a few seconds, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 and the van is just boom, boom, one side of the road, the other side, and you just got to hold it steady. We are going quite slow, just letting everyone overtake if they want to, but the roads are very, very quiet. I'm not surprised, only mad people would drive in this. Yeah, so we're just taking it easy. At least it's not peeing it down with rain or anything like that. It's quite mild and stuff, so yeah, we're just carrying on south. The scenery is absolutely amazing. And at the moment I feel like we're kind of sheltered from the wind by these lovely big mountains here. Don't know what's going to happen when we get over the other side. But yeah, so we'll just continue on. Look at this scenery. They've had quite a bit of rain over the last week to 10 days in this area in Andalucia because it's so green. I don't think I've ever seen it so green. It really is quite lovely. It doesn't actually look like Andalucia. What do you reckon?
It's not how we left it, is it? What's happened? So we're parked up for the night. Not the most exotic of places, but it was getting late.
Yeah.
Started pouring with rain.
Too tired to drive any longer. We maybe were thinking we might get back to our house today, but it's not worth it. We've still got like an hour and a half to 2 hours to go. But when you're tired, it's a bit silly, isn't it? So now we're parked just kind of like in an urban area, right next door, like it's just literally there, to our favourite supermarket.
Lidl! And there is a reason behind this, because we're going to need to stock up on supplies before we head back to our house and the village, because we've got nothing in the house.
Not much in the van, so we're going shopping and then we'll be going back to the house tomorrow, so that's kind of exciting. But yeah, like we said, it has started raining. We are going to get an early night because we're both knackered, so I guess we'll just see you guys in the morning.
Got a problem with our window. It seems to steam up. Don't know what that is. Could be condensation. Charlie, stop breathing. No, don't. Oh.
Yes, good morning everyone. And there has been a little bit of condensation, as per usual. It absolutely tipped it down all night, didn't it?
All night long.
But yeah, Charlie woke up and had to go for a walk at like 2 AM. He's still not 100%, you know, since this illness thing. He's like waking up in the night and wanting to go poo-poos and things, like most nights actually, which is out of character.
He's never done that. Never done that.
So we are going to go and see our vet once we get back. But I mean, apart from that, he's okay. He's fine. He's eating and everything, but he doesn't last the night without needing a poo-poo, and he wakes us up. Slightly concerned, but he does seem okay, but we'll speak to the vet and see. Anyways, yeah, good night's sleep in this little urban location.
Yeah.
Very peaceful and so convenient for the supermarket that we're just about to go to now before heading back to our village. A little bit dubious about getting back to the house. We have had leaks in the past and it has been really bad rainy weather for...
Yeah, we did some work on the house, nothing, you know, major, just to try and stop the leaks, but it'll be interesting to see
how many leaks and issues we do have, and we'll share all that with you in next week's video. So thank you all so much for watching, and... Sorry
we didn't show you more, but the weather's been against us, so we We just didn't stop at many places.
Yeah, this has
really,
just been the
when we get
journey
back.
home, not what we expected, but yeah. Anyway, we'll see you all next week. Thanks so much for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up and
hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one.
yeah, and leave us a little comment because that really helps the channel grow. And yeah, we'll see you all next Thursday.
Take care, guys. See you next week.
Bye bye.